So today we're talking about the difference between a hamstring pain and sciatic nerve pain. So a lot of the time, these can present very similarly. The sciatic nerve runs down the back of the leg, right along the hamstring, and so it can often be confused with just a hamstring strain or tear or something like that. Now, it's important to know the difference because the way we treat these is very different, and some of the exercises that you do for a hamstring pull are going to actually flare up that sciatic nerve pain. Now, how do you strain your hamstring? Generally, it's from some explosive movement. People will remember the one thing they did that really sent pain down the back of their leg. So that can be jumping for something, maybe landing hard, anything like that. It can also be caused from chronic tightness. So if you have imbalance in the muscles around your hamstrings may be doing a lot more work than they should be on a daily basis, which can cause pain and overuse. Now with sciatic, it's also often very different. So the pain will come on gradually. Sometimes people will not remember what brought on that pain. They just remember that it started to really hurt. Now, the pain from a sciatic injury can be anywhere along the nerve. So that can be coming from your low back. It can be compressed somewhere in the glutes or in the hip, down the back of the hamstring, all the way down to their toe. So very different in terms of how this pain comes on, but often it feels very similar. So it's a sharp shooting pain on the back of your leg. It hurts when you stretch your hamstring. It hurts when you go to do anything with that leg and all of that. So now I'm going to show you how to tell the difference between the two and some tests that I will generally do with my clients to help assess if it's a hamstring strain or if it's sciatic nerve pain. Okay, so this is what we call the slump test. This is the only time I ever want you to sit like this because it's terrible posture. But you're going to sit on the edge of a bed or a chair or something kind of high, and then you're going to slump forward, so head down, shoulders rounded through the low back. Now from here, I want you to straighten out that leg that hurts. Now regardless if you have hamstring pain or sciatic pain, you're probably going to feel this. So you're going to feel that stretch or pain down the back of your leg. But from here, I want you to keep that position. So you're not changing anything. You're pointing your toe and then looking up. Now when you do that, if all of a sudden your pain completely goes away, that tells you that you may have some sciatic nerve involvement. So oftentimes sciatic pain can go hand in hand with hamstring tightness, but it is different than a hamstring tear or strain. So if that tells you that once you release some of the tension on the nerve, you no longer have pain, you want to be doing things that are going to help loosen up that sciatic nerve. Why is this important? Because oftentimes the things that we do to help with a hamstring tear or recovering a hamstring after being injured are counterintuitive to what you want to do for a sciatic nerve injury. So this is a lacrosse ball. I'm sure you guys have seen that before. One of the things that we'll do for a hamstring injury or to loosen up your hamstrings is to put the ball underneath and kick your leg forward and back, really mashing out that hamstring, trying to get rid of some of that tightness or adhesions and all of that. Now, think about it. If you're a sciatic nerve that doesn't like to be compressed, do you think mashing it with a lacrosse ball is going to feel good? Probably not. It's the same thing goes with stretching. So if we're stretching our hamstring, so we're reaching forward and we're trying to stretch to help with that recovery and get some more mobility through our hamstrings, that may feel good for a healed hamstring injury and you need to get that flexibility back, but that's going to feel terrible on a sciatic nerve that does not like being pulled and lengthened. So now I'm going to show you a sciatic nerve flossing exercise that can be really helpful to alleviate some of that pain through the back of the leg. So what you're going to do is you're going to lie on your back. Your unaffected leg is going to stay flat on the mat, and your affected leg is coming up to 90 degrees. So you're just going to hold it with your hands behind your thigh. Now, starting with the foot flex, I want you to straighten that leg up as much as you can. Go really slow with this. You don't want to overdo it. And then you're going to point your toe at the top and bring it back down to 90. Starting again, you're going to flex that foot, straighten it all the way out, point that toe at the top, and then bring it back down to 90. I want you to do this 10 times and see if it makes a difference in terms of the pain in the back of the leg. You should notice a difference when you go to then stretch your hamstrings, and you can get a bit more movement and a bit more mobility without that pain. I hope that helped you figure out the difference between sciatic nerve pain and a hamstring strain. And if you have any questions, feel free to message me, and make sure to find me on Instagram at FitMamaSB.